are live. It is NBA Rundown time. I am your host, Astaire, here to break down everything in the NBA. Happy to have my guy Tyler with me, and we're going to have AP coming in soon. We'll get Tyler in here real soon, but of course, we had an exciting night of NBA basketball last night. I see my guy Snyder in the chat. What's up? My guy Matty Ice is here. Welcome, gentlemen. Jonathan Nelson. Unbelievable. So, Tyler, how you doing today? NBA rundown time. RunPureSports.com. Pretty excited to talk some NBA tonight. We had a smaller slate last night. Just a one-game slate as the Miami Heat defeated the New York Knicks 109-101. Our luck on totals came to an end. But, that was about into the NBA. That's about all that happened last night. So what'd you think of the Heat and the Knicks?
Yeah, I mean, that was a boring game. The Heat won. We thought they were going to win. Sorry to our guy Joey Work. He yelled at me yesterday for betting against our favorite team, but I thought it was the right side. It ended up being the right side. I had to listen to our guy Travis. What did he do? He took the victory lap one play back about the Heat, but I already told him that I knew it was coming, so we didn't talk much about that. And then the late game, the Lakers were able to steal that game in the end.
Wait, there was a late game?
Well, there was definitely a late game spread. I know you might not have did. You were out for your birthday. You might have had some fun last night, so you might not have watched the game. But your Warriors went down. They're down 3-1. They're going back home. What are we thinking? Are they dead? Are they going to rise from the depths? Are we going to get a game 7? What are you thinking?
Unfortunately, Sean Livingston's not walking through that door, Tyler. And the lack of depth is really hurting the Lakers. I'm still pissed at Danny Ainge. Hurting the Warriors. I'm still pissed at Danny Ainge for just basically gifting the Lakers all those players. But, overall, it's just a pretty disgusting evening. And, everybody's victory lapping. I think I'm the only one who's, rooting for the Warriors, outside of Northern California. So pretty disappointing there. And I'm actually disappointed in the Knicks, too. Don't you think that series should have been way better?
Oh, it definitely should have been way better. But the Knicks, they just kind of suck.
It's what do we do here? What do we do? Did the Cavaliers suck? I don't even know what to make of the Eastern Conference right now. Is Jimmy Butler just that good? I really do not know what to make of the Eastern Conference.
No, but I do know one thing we got to do, Spread. I got to adjust my camera and move it down a little bit because it looks like I'm looking at the ground. It looks like my eyes are closed.
You adjust the camera, and we're going to get AP in here soon, but I don't even want to talk about last night. I'd like to dive into tonight. I'll let the chat victory lap this. I know everyone in the whole world is happy. Right. Jonathan Nelson and Kim Kardashian walking hand in hand to Fat Burger.
That's better. Now it looks like I have a little bit of a straight view. It's only a little bit higher than the computer screen.
Yeah, much better. Reminder, NBA Rundown is brought to you by RunPureSports.com, the best in daily fantasy and sports gambling information. Tyler, even though last night sucked for me as a fan. It's so funny. We didn't get involved in that game. We didn't have anything on the playbook in that one. And it just, last night's loss crushed me so bad. I woke up, I still have more money in my account. So, because we crushed on props. The other plays on the sheet hit, and I'm like, oh man, that was just an emotional loss. So anything more from last night before we dive into tonight?
No, I don't have much more to touch on from last night. There's not much to talk about in the Knicks game. It went how we thought it was going to go, and then,
pretty disappointing. That that's one of the props I didn't hit was Mitchell Robinson. What's up with this guy? How does he go from looking like a top 5 center to just being he's so invisible?
Did he touch foul trouble again last night, Spread?
No, I think he had 30 something minutes, and he still only had 7 or 8 rebounds.
Yeah, Bam dominated the rebounds last night, 13 of them. Our guy Travis gave out that over 8.5 at plus money, and that cashed within the third quarter. So hope guys got on that. That was
I already bet that for the next game.
Yeah, for sure. I was telling him last night on playback, I was like, I don't hate laddering that up, doing the 10 plus, the 12 plus. It's you're just going to keep getting good prices on it.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's dive into tonight. If the chat, we'll let you guys victory out the Lakers. I'll throw the comments on the screen. But I'd rather talk about
the one chatter at Spread, the one that told me that the Warriors were going to kill the Lakers.
You better relax, bro. We haven't seen him since
I haven't seen
3.
him. I haven't seen him.
No. Maybe we'll ask Holden. He loves to mess with Holden. The Philadelphia 76ers are plus 7.5, Tyler. Plus 7.5. This total's down to 212.5. Actually, let's bring in AP. We'll let him talk about the disgustingness that is the Lakers, and then we'll dive into tonight. AP, how you doing today?
Are we already live? Am I tardy again? Oh, man.
It doesn't matter. The people came to see me.
I was tardy, and I was here by 3:01. He had already had the show fired up. He was into the breakdown.
Hey, we're gonna be on live, right? We say we start at noon. We'll start at noon, and if it's just me on solo, then
I love it. I always got that meeting right before, and it always goes a little long. But no, things are good. Things are really good.
Awesome. It didn't seem that way this morning. As you tweeted about how angry you were. Has some of that anger subsided?
Fired up, angry in a good way. Like should be 12 and what? I mean, should be 13-0. If did you guys see like Embiid? Like, and obviously we get him tonight, but like, are you kidding me? Like, all we needed for that big Tyler, what was it? Like almost 20-1 single game parlay.
Yeah, here, I got the sheet right here. I'll pull it back up. It was Embiid 14 plus rebounds, 35 plus points. The Sixers win, because I was on the 35 plus, and they win the game at like plus 600 also. And he finished with 34 on us, AP, and he missed three free throws.
Oh, it was insane, absolutely insane. So no, a good angry spread. I woke up a good angry, motivated. I think we have 2 locks tonight. I think I feel very, very good about these plays, and I think I've been pretty transparent about what they are. I mean, the zigzag right now is crazy. If you're on the right side of this zigzag, like of these series, you're absolutely printing. Like you're printing. And I feel like we've been on the right side.
Tyler, let's dive right in. Philadelphia 76ers plus 7.5. Totals 212.5. I haven't run the numbers yet. My guess is they're going to tell me to take the 76ers. As we know, modeling the playoffs, it doesn't work like the regular season where, I can really lean heavy on the numbers when we're breaking down these games, when we're doing the playbook. I feel like their significance has dropped from like 60% of the handicap to like 10% of the handicap, right, Tyler?
Did you guys talk about last night's games yet? I mean, are we already diving into the games?
Spread doesn't want to talk about
if you want to.
I mean, spread. Like, do you not want to talk about that game last night?
I'd love to listen. I'll listen. You learn more by listening than you do by talking.
What was your thoughts? I mean, we had the Lakers.
Well, my thoughts were is Sean Livingston's not walking through that door. It's just too bad. A couple mistakes there by the Warriors front office, who were supposedly light years ahead, really cost us what could have been a great series. I was really hoping this one was going to go 7, and this weekend we'd have a classic game 7. And last night I said, boy, I don't even know if we're going to get there. Now, of course, Tyler's dog that he sent me from a great account, Tyler Warriors show, yo. I mean, that's the type of tweets I need to be seeing. But other than that, the lack of depth is really hurting the Warriors. They don't play the same that they do. And Clay, boy, this is why it's so crazy what LeBron's doing. He's looking washed. Clay's not looking good. So who does this team really have?
Shit. You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, let me know. All right. I sound better now, too? I got this, something going on with –
it's so funny. It's only on your end because it's perfect for
Sounds
us.
Good?
Yeah.
No, but my mic will randomly go out, and I can't hear you guys, and I'll just be talking, and, who freaking knows. What'd you guys think about the adjustments, though? I mean, we saw a lot of Curry running everything. One thing that I also saw is I saw this stat, could be wrong. I was listening to NBA radio this morning. Curry he always has at least one win in a series on the road. And I think they have 0 right now, right?
Oh yeah.
I guess the Lakers. So he has to, or it'll be a career first for him. So obviously they need the series to come back to the Lakers. I thought that was interesting. But what do you guys think about what their change was, bringing Gary Payton on? I thought they did a much better job on D'Lo with him. Less Jordan Poole. I mean, Jordan Poole, what an absolute disaster. I think maybe he's more interested in personal stuff than winning another championship with his team. And then you got Curry. Like, the one thing I do feel bad for this team is Curry wants it, and you could see it last night. He had a few shots that normally they're automatic. They always go in, and I was surprised they didn't last night. The ball just, obviously it bounced the Lakers' way. But I thought the adjustments were nice. I do think the Warriors get the win at home, and then I honestly think it comes down to Game 6, and the Lakers have to win that game.
Yeah, I mean...
So what I'm saying is I'm not really counting them out yet, just because Steph is so good. Clay's been bad, and
everyone else has been bad.
Everybody on a Lakers ticket, go cover yourself now and don't get kicked in the nuts. Because if they blow them out in Game 5,
you guys are just building up my hope,
and then all of a sudden Game 6 they keep the hot shooting. It's like,
smoked in Crypto Center again.
I don't know.
They're going to win Game 5. Everyone up here, all these Warriors fans around me are going to get so excited. NorCal's going to be a buzz again, and then we're going to get stomped on in Game 6.
Clay's not washed. He's
not playing well.
He's a one-trick pony. He's not in today's NBA, you can't just be a jump shooter. Like, you got
every time he's creating off the dribble as a Warriors backer, I'm just like vomiting.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Anytime it's not a catch and shoot, it's a bad shot for Clay. I mean, it's a rough watch. It's a rough watch.
All I'm saying, though, is one guy kept them in that game, and it was Chef Curry. It was crazy. So, I mean, Wash, because of a couple games, he had some big games during the regular season. I know I've already been made fun of for citing the regular season, on the show before, but I mean, washed maybe. I don't know. He can still hit shots though. He's a championship player. I don't know if I'm ready to say washed, but he's getting up there.
I don't think he's washed, but he's not what he used to be, and he shouldn't be getting paid as much. That's the only kicker there that I have.
I mean, he's getting old, and he had a serious injury. So,
he had two of them.
I mean, he's in the Ray Allen phase of his career when Allen was on Miami. All he can do is stand in the corner and shoot threes.
The problem is
that's fine. And your number 2.
I almost, I didn't want to be that guy, but I was going to pull the receipts again and do another screen record because our friend Kurt. I'm such a boomer. I had no idea how I could do a screen record on my iPhone. I mean, I'm such a boomer. I'm learning these new these terms and stuff.
It's funny. Can't do that, huh?
Bro, we went out to dinner last night. It had the menu, so I couldn't read it. Because you remember, Tyler, when I tried to get the app, my phone won't read those QR codes.
Yeah, his phone can't read a QR code. AP. I mean, what are we living in? 2004?
I mean, to be fair, the Android's 4 years old. I'll get a new one soon. I'll get the new Galaxy.
I mean, we've won enough spread in the last couple months. You should already have a new phone.
No, new floors, cost a lot of money. And what was the one other thing? I'm redoing the guest bathroom now.
Yeah,
that's where it's going. Mine is just 4 years old. All right, I'm sorry, AP. We just wanted to go back to the old iPhone jokes.
What I was saying, it goes back to what I said weeks ago that. Right now, and I'm standing by this, the Lakers are the most complete team. And I said this during the last series, and it's because of the role players. And I know, Spread, I see you hate this. You hate to hear it. But look at what they got. Like Lonnie Walker. I thought that was going to be Malik Beasley. It wasn't Malik Beasley, even though he was the regular season guy. But they found it in Lonnie Walker, who was incredible yesterday and who's been incredible in this role. And you know what? And this is where people fail to adjust. When we get to this next series that the Lakers are still in, Lonnie Walker might not even have a role. It's all matchups. And that's what you have to be watching these games to see those matchups. But Lonnie Walker's been incredible. LeBron was feeding him. That was really cool. Did you see at the end of the game, too? Spread, you didn't probably see it because it was the Lakers. But love you, Spread. Look at him over there.
He's just not even paying us any mind right now.
Oh, man, LeBron, the first thing he did is went straight up to Lonnie Walker and was talking him up. And just that game he won that game for them. It was really impressive. It was an awesome game. They needed it. You think the Lakers go in and win? I mean, I guess they could.
What, win it
You think
all?
they just put the hammer down? Yeah, in Golden State. I could see them doing that,
I think it's possible, but I still think this series is pretty dicey. Like, all it takes a couple shooters getting hot, and it gets very, very tricky down the line.
Yeah, and they've always been better at home.
For a game, it's like, uh-oh.
Did you guys see that? Like, was it ESPN? Someone posted it in Discord, but they're like, should the Warriors rest starters in this next game?
Don't watch that.
That's just so dumb.
That's like the stupidest stuff. Like, what do you? The only reason I would turn that on is if I was like, I'm too smart. I need to get dumber.
Now, AP, how do we think they fare in the next series? And who do we think they play? I
don't even know who they're playing.
I still think they play Denver. If they play Phoenix, I think that's an even easier matchup for them.
I just think it's going to be, and we see it tonight. So I'll be transparent. I think it's the money line bet, which usually I'm not a fan of. Like, I feel like they're trappy. The like 2-team favorite money line bet to get the juice squeezed down to like even money. I usually think it's a trap bet. And maybe it is, but I feel so confident in this one where we're taking Denver money line and Celtics money line tonight. I don't see either team winning. Like, if you like playing at altitude is so much tougher and you're running Devin Booker and Kevin Durant 43, 44 minutes at altitude, I think it's going to be, I don't think, and Book might prove me wrong. He's done it. Yeah. I mean, he's been incredible. Can he be that efficient at altitude in Denver with that crowd? I'm not seeing it. And then if he can't, can KD step up? Because we talked about the adjustments that they made with Terrence Ross, TJ Warren getting a little bit more minutes, not being highly productive, but getting some minutes. And then it was the hero Landry Shamet that came in and hit 4 threes back to back in that last game.
5 out of 7 total for the game.
Yeah, but all of them came like in that second half, it seemed like. So they got some big time production out of guys that I don't think are going to be able to do it on the road. We talk about these role players, how they typically struggle on the road. If you factor that adjustment in, you're going to need monster games from Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I think Denver wins by double digits, and I also think like the Celtics could win by double digits. Not trying to get ahead of myself, but that's why I think that moneyline bet today is so strong. And I rarely make those. Like I think they're kind of sucker bets most of the time. Today, I don't think so.
All right. Well, if you tuned in just for AP's bets, he already gave them away. So hit the thumbs
see
up
you guys.
on your way. Use the Run Pure Sports promo code SPREAD15 to become a member. Right? We've been winning fantastic. I mean, did Joey Work even ever lose at baseball? It's been fantastic for us over there.
Swept the board again yesterday.
Obviously AP's giving you his picks today, but if you want access to those every day, he's been active on the spreadsheet for members. To make things easier and more streamlined, we're also going to start putting the playbook plays on the sheet, so that will take away a click from you guys, right? So when Tyler and I put those RPB tags up, we'll head it over, and it'll be under the code playbook, and that's on the Run Pure Bets picks page. A very important tool. That's where I go. I get Joey's baseball plays. I get JJ's baseball and tennis plays. I get hockey plays from JC Zargo. Still have yet to watch a minute. I've watched a little baseball this year, but no hockey yet. Regardless, point is, runpuresports.com is the place to be. Use that promo code SPREAD15 for 15% off your first membership. So I might complain when the Lakers lose, but Tyler, did I lose money on that last night? No. Just the pain in my heart. But the bank accounts
they gave you a birthday present, Spread. They said, "Here's a Lakers win."
No, that was a terrible present. I need to redo. My birthday's now on May 10th. All right, so Tyler, AP gave away his picks, but what do you think, Tyler? I wouldn't be surprised if the Sixers covered tonight. I'm not ready to hit that plus 256. But I think just assuming that Boston blows them out, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves here. What do you think?
No, I'm on the side of AP. I think Boston just walks them off the floor tonight. I mean, they had the comeback last game, and they just couldn't finish it off. Philly was able to get that game to overtime and steal it in the end. Those guys looked gassed at the end of that game. Embiid was dead. He had nothing left. I don't see him doing much here. These Boston guys are just going to rain home threes here, too. Like, I don't hate doing a same-game parlay. Tatum hits 3 threes, Horford drops in 3, and say Smart or one of the guards, Smart, Derek White, or Brogdon, whichever one you prefer. I'll go Derek White drops in 3 threes. and their money line, just those 3 guys alone, is a 15-1. You get the money line in there with it, that jumps you up to 20-1. I think these guys hit 20+ threes tonight. It just all depends on what these guys do and how many they hit. I think that's a good bet there. I also don't mind doing the performance double on these guys, just singling one guy out and doing it that way. And our guy, We the People's bet's always good. Tatum double and win, because he seems to be getting way in more on the boards. Robert Williams isn't playing a ton of minutes, and Tatum's just feasting on those rebounds. So he should be able to get the double digits again.
A great pick here, but this is just terrible. He says at least AP picks a side. Okay.
I love it because I've been flip-flopping in these series.
You know what spread does? Spread lets you know when the books have put up a good line, a solid number, and does not promote irresponsible gambling, we the people. All right, AP, do you have any props for tonight's 76ers Celtics game? And if not, tell us how you're approaching it from a DFS side.
Yeah, so I 100% agree with Tyler. I was on Philly at home because we're getting money, and my belief was, when you look at these series and the caliber teams that we have, Boston is the better team, I think, by quite a bit. But when you factor in coaching, and this is what we talked about, this was the premise of my base, or the base of my pick is coaching with Mazzulla. Like I don't know if he's ready, but they have all the talent in the world where it doesn't really matter. We saw that down the stretch. Like, in that, I'm more concerned about the OT spot. Like, I get it, the other spot, but like, you got like you're down a point. Like you take a timeout there, or at least you try to get a shot up so you can foul. There's a lot of just terrible decisions, and then the guy you have taking the shot is Marcus Smart, which I disagree with. It should be Jaylen Brown. It should be Jason Tatum. That's who it should be. Get him in isolation, whatever. That's the shot you want. I think we would all agree on that. And so I thought coaching was really bad. But this is going to be like a game 2 where they all locked in. They wiped. Like, you're not going to see the shooting that the Philly had. Look, all right. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, last game. You're 27 points, 32, 33. What did they do in the fourth quarter? They locked down. That's one thing this team could do defensively that I'm trying to think of what other team can do this. I don't think I see one. I know I've talked about the Lakers, how I think they're the most complete team, but when you talk about defense, like and what these guys can do, how they can switch, they can all guard every single position. Horford owning Embiid, I think they set the tone early. They make it really tough. I think you see them hit their threes. I think they get a big lead, and then they kind of coast with that lead like we've seen. That's when Boston's at their best. So I think the intensity, you see it right out of the gate. I don't see Philly winning here. So like the counter argument, how could they win? I mean,
Boston
can Embiid be the guy that
play hard? No. Does Boston coast all the time when they're expected to win? Yes. Is Jason Tatum start settling for jump shots rather than attacking rim and putting pressure on Philadelphia's defense? Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of scenarios where Boston loses, in my mind. But
what I would like to see
piss me off when they come out flat like they did in Game 4, when they had a chance to essentially end the series.
Let me get your guys' take on this. What I would like to see Philly do is get the ball in Maxi's hand more, get him to push in transition instead of Harden or Embiid walking the ball up. I get in Game 1, that game was about slowing the game down, and it was a possession-by-possession game, and you had to just take what you could get. That's how they're winning without Embiid. But now with Embiid, I would like to see the ball in Maxi's hands more and to push it. They're not going to do that. Harden's going to do his thing. He's going to isolate, and he's going to take bad three-point shots. And now you're going to get Boston at home, and these role players are going to they're going to shoot lights out. Like Marcus Smart, he's probably going to hit his shots. Al Horford, they're leaving him open. He's going to hit his corner shots. So I don't think they can keep pace, and I think we're going to see the defensive tenacity on the Boston side. Today it's spread. I'm on the Boston side -7.5, and the money line parlayed with Philly. So I like both sides of the bet.
I like the money line parlay the best out of everything you posted.
Add the first half of that list, AP. I'm putting that on the sheet.
I'm loading up the wagons.
I mean, think about it. If we think this team's going to blow a lead at the end, they're definitely going to be up 5 at halftime. Like, they're going to come out and punch them in the mouth early in this game. And if they're coasting in the second half, that's where we get backdoored on the 7.5. They were up in that game where they blew them out at halftime by about 9. They were up in the game they won at halftime by about 6. In the game the other one. The only
So
two games are good.
I was gonna say, my guy Jabroni Clyde, what's going on, my man? We've seen the Celtics team play good when they have the pressure on them. Like that game, I think the closeout game against the Hawks, Tatum and Brown were all over on the defensive side, like all over, and that translated into better offense for him too. And so I think like Jaylen Brown, what I take from his comments at the end of the game, where you could read that as he was mad, but he said he needs to demand the ball more. I don't take that as like a negative thing or a hit on his team at all. I just think he's going to come in fired up. I think him and Tatum are going to come in fired up. And yeah, man, I think it's a tough spot for Philly.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll be.
This could be the game where they both drop 30, AP.
I think Philly gives us a respectable performance tonight. So
I've been kind of mapping these out, like just kind of the ebb and flow of these series. I got now with how close that game was and how Philly let them back into it. I think Boston knows they got them on the ropes, and I think they win the next 2.
I mean, it's 2-2.
I know.
For as much as they've dominated, they.
I think they win the next 2.
All right, you got the Celtics in 6. Let's jump in with the chat here. Nathan, he's into showdowns, right? He comes in usually asking for this. And AP, yesterday, right? We went ahead and we threw some captains out. But you, daily fantasy expert, winner of many big prize pools. How would you approach this if you're doing a Sixers Celtics showdown?
I like to be transparent. I haven't been the best at showdown in these matchups, but I guess there's been spots that's just like we thought were all really easy. Like the other night, the Jock Lando. I think we were all on that. I love those type of nights, and even if we end up chopping, it always ends up a good night. But shout out to our boy Kurt. He was on the Curry captain last night. I wasn't seeing it. He got that right. I went with Austin Reeves. Reeves had a really nice game, but it wasn't good enough to get it done. You needed that Curry captain. This first game, how I would approach it, I want one of those Boston. I think a Jaylen Brown or a Tatum, I think they go off, and I want to be Boston heavy. I never run 5-1s in showdown. It's so much different from the NFL. I mean, think about it. It's a math problem. You got 5 guys on the court each side. Even if the game is 130-85, your other team on one side, they're still going to, as a team, produce X amount of fantasy points. And so you're going to get pieces from that team, usually at least 2, to be optimal in showdown. So I rarely ever run 5-1s, and I don't think I could here with some of the price tags. But I am going to be heavy Boston. I like the Boston 4-2s with the Boston captain. I'm going to be looking at Jaylen Brown and Tatum in that spot. What's your guys' thought on Time Lord, Bob Williams? I mean, he's been playing right around 18 to 20 minutes, and obviously they've preferred Horford in this role, but I've been kind of surprised the lack of minutes that he's been getting.
I haven't at all. Horford's traditionally done well against Embiid, and when the Sixers signed it was almost like they were signing him not because he fit in well with the team, but to get away from him, right? So they didn't have to deal with him covering their best players. So it doesn't surprise me at all. If you look at way Robert Williams,
it also stretches the floor too. Like Robert Williams can't stretch the floor and pull Embiid out of the paint.
It's a tough matchup for him physically because a lot of the advantages he has over other centers with his quickness and being a faster, smaller center, it doesn't really apply against Embiid.
I think if I were to ever run a 5-1, I just had that whole speech on never play 5-1s. I might take a shot here. I haven't ran any showdown builds, but if Harden and Embiid fail and they start forcing stuff, I mean, who are the other 2 guys that could land in there? It'd have to be like a Melton or maybe Niang. Maybe he hit some threes off the bench. We don't like these role players on the roll, though. So on the road in these playoff series. So I don't know. I'll definitely be diving in, but I haven't really looked at too much showdown stuff yet.
Tyler, I think this is an easy question, but we'll go ahead and answer it and pick a side. I like the Harden under a lot more. Embiid even had 30 and 13 in that game 3 loss, right? So just because he goes off, AP's script can come true, your script can come true, and Embiid can have a monster performance. I think Harden, if he has a big night, Sixers definitely cover the spread. So I like the Harden under a lot more. I'm guessing you agree, but what do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm with you on the Harden under. I got one prop I really like in this game too. They have Malcolm Brogdon's PRA set at 22.5. You just go look at his game logs in this series. He's played 33, 24, 26, and 35 minutes. He's put up 26, 28, 23, and 31 in the PRA. So he's covered that number every time. He's killing.
Who's that one more time? I was reading the comments. I'm sorry.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Okay.
Yeah, he's crushed his PRA number this entire series. He's getting all the minutes against these bench guys for the 76ers. These backups for them are no good. He's the best bench guy across both teams. So he just crushes these guys on the bench minutes. And if he gets extended run, then he's going to even crush his number even more. So I'll be on his PRA over tonight.
All right. We the People says Time Lord got banged up last game as well. So even more.
He's super cheap on DK. So
yeah. Can't overrule that one. Anything more on the 76ers and the Celtics before we move on to what, in my opinion, has been the best series so far in the second round?
No, I mean, the one rule, this is more for the 2-game slates, is I in SaberSim, if you're using that, I group together Marcus Smart, Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, and I just say 2 of the 3. So all 3 can't fit into to my builds. And then what I do with that, like why make that rule, let the projections do their thing. Then I can actually slightly over project all 3, and I still know that I have a cap on, my ownership with those 3, and I'm only getting at least 2 of the 3. I just don't see all 3 of them being optimal. It's been a really nice rule that I've ran every single game this series.
All right, AP's got a nice rule for you there. Tyler, let's dive into tonight.
Before that spread, just 2 other bets I like in this one. They have that Celtics win margin 11+ set at plus 140. Love that because I think they blow them out here. And then there's a performance double. Derek White, they hit 3+ 3s and they win the game 3-1. I like that too because I think he chucks up a lot of 3s here.
Yeah, I think I bet it's over 1.5 threes. I have to double check that.
Yeah,
I bet Derek White over 12.5 points.
He's had a tough series. I like that call.
I have Harden under 21.5. I have Jaylen Brown over 2.5 3-point field goals. But let's go into the evening game. What I think is definitely the main event of the evening as the Phoenix Suns continue to try to play the 2-man game and defeat the deeper Denver Nuggets. Nuggets here laying 6.5. Another one where the projections are going to say this line is inflated, Tyler, but we've seen a lot of these zigzag games have not been close. How are you approaching this game? And what are you going to do if we go to do these tags and it tells me to take the Suns?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're going to take the Sun spread, we keep betting this halftime full time, because if they're going to make this a game with Denver, it's going to be in the first half when these guys still have legs at altitude, like AP said, and how many minutes these guys have played, especially KD. He's going to gas. He's on the older side. We talk about these guys with major injuries. He's had a few of them. We've seen his shooting percentage dip off until they had that 5 days off, and then he was able to recover, get some rest, and he played good in the last 2 games. Now he's been back-to-back days with games. He's only had 1 day off in between. Now he's got to head to Denver and play at altitude. I think KD's legs go first. Booker could still kill here because Booker's a younger guy, and he shoots a lot of those closer shots to the hoop. So I think he could still get his. But in the end, I think Denver comes out and they win this game. I think Murray gets back on track and crushes right here. There's a 5+ 3s, and they win it 6-1 on FanDuel. Love that bet because if you go look at his playoff log at home, he is night and day on the road when he comes home. He's going to hit his shots tonight. He hasn't done well shooting the 3. He's getting back on track from the perimeter tonight, spread on his home floor. So I'll be on the Nuggets. I think Murray crushes, and I think they kind of cruise here.
AP, you already gave it away about 20 minutes ago, but for the lovely people that stayed with us, runpuresports.com, become a member of the best in daily fantasy and sports gambling information. hit the thumbs up button as AP breaks it down again. Your thoughts here, AP?
Yeah, so I mean, going back to a couple things here. Like the last game they played, I did like the Suns. They were slight favorites, I think -2.5. That game was incredible. I mean, the offensive efficiency on both sides. Jokic with a 53-piece, D-Book, 36 points, 6 rebounds, 12 assists. KD doing his thing. It was incredible. I don't see how. I think this is more like game 2? Maybe not that bad, but like the shooting was definitely not as good. The pace I think was still there, but you're talking like I think one of the Suns were like 15% from 3-point range. I just see like like what Tyler said. These guys, like especially KD, you gotta think playing 42, 43 minutes a night, not going to altitude. That's going to have an effect on him for sure. And I think you see it later on in the half. And then it's what else can the Suns do? Because it's if these role players aren't hitting their shots and to help create space like we've seen, then it's going to make things much tougher. And I think that's what happens tonight. I think the Nuggets rebound. I think Murray has a big night. I think Kevin Porter Jr. is going to play a big role. Like the one thing I've seen, and I've started like MPJ has been or Michael Porter Jr. I think I said. Did I say Kevin Porter Jr.? I mean, that dude hasn't.
Yeah, you did.
They're ways away from. They're ways away.
I didn't feel like interrupted you for that. We knew who you were talking about. I'm doing better. Where's JC Zargo when we need him?
Michael Porter Jr. When they go more offensive versus like defensive, getting away from Okogie and Torrey Craig, it helps MPJ out. I think like MPJ is going to be an awesome play tonight. I think he has a big night. I haven't looked at any of his props. That's something I'm going to be doing. And I just think the Nuggets, I could see them winning by like double digits tonight. The crowd is going to be into it with everything that happened with Jokic. And like they were talking about a suspension. Didn't happen. Fortunately, didn't happen. That would have been the worst thing ever. But this crowd is going to be intense. So I think everything is going in Denver's favor tonight. Again, what's our risk? Like, what could happen? It's Book. It's KD. These two guys are incredible. And they alone could change this game. I don't see them beating this Nuggets team in Denver right now with how these like MPJ, if he steps up. Jamal Murray's been excellent at home. And then Jokic. I mean, Jokic is the best play on the slate tonight, I think. He's going to absolutely feast. So I got the Nuggets by double digits in fantasy. Here's how I'm playing it. I really prefer the Denver side here. Jamal Murray, 8.1K. I think he's a potential guy to build around. MPJ, I'm probably going to lock him in 20 max formats. He's like my favorite play in that range. And then I think Jokic is a great play. I'm much more cautious with KCP. I'm not fading him. He could definitely hit some shots, but he's just raw scoring dependent. I think Malone runs a really tight rotation. Bruce Brown being the biggest guy who has an impact off the bench. Outside of that, I'm not going to be playing Jeff Green, Christian Braun, these guys. It's really Yoke, MPJ, Jamal Murray, and then Aaron Gordon. The price is nice, but I'm not sure if I'll get to him. And then I like the Boston sides, and I'm going to be under on the Suns studs, I believe. And this is the first time that I'm going to be under on them because they're getting so many minutes. Their prices have come up enough to where I think I can fade them in favor of the Boston studs or Jokic and then get all of these other pieces into my builds.
All right. There you have it.
Why we the people, why should he have gotten suspended? The dude was holding the ball. He was trying to get the ball back, and someone hit him first or touched him first. And then he, pushed the guy. He pushed the wrong guy, but ended up being the owner of the Suns.
Hey, come on. Like, as an NBA fan, do you want to tune in tonight and watch a Jokic-less Denver Nuggets lose by 30 points? As Jamal Murray goes 11 from 29 from the field and Michael Porter Jr. goes 4 from 17.
Even the owner for the Suns,
Kevin Porter Jr. Sorry.
The Suns owner
That's
tweeted
funny.
out and said he didn't want him suspended or fined. So even the owner was on the side of he wanted him to play.
Oh, deep down, he definitely wanted him suspended.
I mean, yeah, deep down, he wanted him
Did he
suspended.
though? Did he though?
He's one of them guys, AP. He was on a podcast recently. Like, he's put the Suns on, like, local TV.
LeBron wouldn't get suspended for that, we the people. Come on.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry,
LeBron
Tyler,
ain't
I
getting
didn't
suspended for
mean to
nothing.
interrupt.
But you seen LeBron and your rage ensued. But back to...
No, because it's a bad argument. Any star
you got
wouldn't
me
get
again,
suspended
but I
for that.
completely forgot what I was talking about. It's 2 days in a row where you cut me off and I lost track of everything.
Just mute me. Every time you
He
start
gets
talking,
me every
just
time,
mute me.
AP. Yeah, he just cuts me off.
I got to stop looking at the chat and just listen. They piss me off. Any star would not have got suspended in that case. Like Lonnie Walker, maybe. But, I mean, come on. I apologize, Tyler.
Lonnie Walker.
I lost this, but I got nothing left. You cut me off. I forget what I was talking about.
I do. So, like, if this, all right. So, just think about how this game could play out. Let's just say it kind of gets out of hand. This would be one of those spots to where in showdown or 2-game slates, to where if you just look at all the minutes that Book, KD are getting, if this game is kind of out of hand, you could see them maybe lean on some of these other pieces a little bit more. So this is where I might run a few blowout scripts. It feels a little thin, but if I'm fading Book and KD, it feels like the right move to make on paper.
It's tough to fade Book, so if you do that and it works out.
Where is the owner going to sit tonight? I mean, he's got to be at the game, right?
He's probably right on the
he probably has security detail and everything. I mean, he's what, like a $7 billion net worth or something? I mean,
yeah,
he probably has security.
Right below.
He's got beef with other NBA owners too. Him and Dan Gilbert hate each other.
That's a mortgage, though. It has nothing to do with NBA.
Yeah, it has to do with nothing with NBA yet, but it has to do with the whole like mortgage businesses that they hate each other.
I mean, you guys are in the chat saying like two people that are like notorious for bad behavior would have been suspended. Yes, Draymond because of his history of bad behavior, and Dylan Brooks because of his history of bad behavior. Yes, they would probably be suspended.
I would bet a huge amount of money that he's on an NBA roster next year.
Who?
Dylan Brooks.
Of course. Who thinks he's not?
Everybody.
No, everybody loves to overreact and go to Twitter with hot takes, and whoever has a good game is the greatest of all time, and whoever's has a bad game is the worst player of all time, and whichever coach loses, no matter what team they are, is a terrible coach that deserves to be fired. Tell
me Dylan Brooks isn't going to start for the Charlotte Hornets next year.
Oh, I mean, he's like a perfect guy for like the frickin' Detroit Pistons. I bet he'll be playing for the Pistons.
What's his history? Pushing that one dude one time, the Morris twin? I mean, it's a little different than Draymond or Dylan Brooks.
Remember he attacked the campaign when he got swept?
Did he?
Yeah. It was in game 4. He attacked him and then he got in Booker's face.
Jokic, he's huge. I wouldn't mess with him. Especially and his brothers?
When he's angry, yeah, you don't mess with guys like that.
Bro, look who's in the chat, dude. This brightened my day. After all the Lakers gloom and doom and just being, wonderful to see you, my man. I appreciate to see you. Spoelstra is the most, I don't know. I think pretty everyone says he's the best coach in the NBA. I mean, what do we want to say? He's the best coach in NBA history.
I think I think he's the best at making adjustments, like on the fly. Time and time again, he shows that. I think he's the best at getting the most out of what he has too. I mean, if you look at his roster and go and put this, all those guys on, under a different system, I don't think they're as good.
What are all the people that hated the bubble championship going to say, AP, if we get a Heat Lakers finals again?
I mean, those people don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. They all played under the same rules. All right.
Yeah, if anything, could have been tougher.
That's what I said. I thought it was tougher.
Tyler, any more things that you'd like me to interrupt before any more breakdowns you have that you'd like me to interrupt before we get to the best bets?
No, I mean just just looking through some of these performance doubles. There's an MPJ 5+3s also, and that one's 8-1 with Denver to win. We think he has a big game. He shoots a lot of threes. He catches fire from back there. He could definitely hit 5 of them.
All right, I unmuted myself. Any other breakdowns before we go to the best bet?
No, I mean, he did that. He did that once before, 2 games ago, or no, 1 game ago.
All right. Let's go ahead and talk about runpuresports.com, the best place for daily fantasy and sports gambling information. Tyler, the playbook continues to dominate. I know we dropped one yesterday. What's our record for the month?
We're 11-5 now. That brings us to 11-5.
Yeah,
we'll probably have a couple plays tonight,
like
judging by how we went over these games.
Yeah. So we're going to get back on track tonight, get back to our winning ways, and, of course, give you guys a quick taste, just a taste of the winners right now. Tyler, start with you. Oh, give us a thumbs up, too. Side total prop, your best bet.
I'm going to go with 2. Give me the Boston first half -4.5. I think they come out guns blazing. They're up by about 10 at halftime. And I'll leave the full game alone just because we've seen late game adjustments hinder this team before. And then give me that Jamal Murray 5+3s and Denver wins in that late game 6-1. I think he just fires up threes. He gets back on track at home. And I think he could definitely hit 5 tonight. So those are my 2 bets for tonight.
All right. My guy, We the People, appreciator of strong defensive basketball. His best bet is Tatum double and win. AP, what's your best bet for the day?
I love that call by We the People. I mean, Tatum just with less Robert Williams in there. I mean, Tatum is crashing these boards. He was an absolute beast on it. So I think that's a great play. Yeah, it's my money line bet. Celtics money line. Parlay that with the Nuggets money line. It's more of a. I'm like I said at the start of the show. I don't do a lot of those at all. I think a lot of times they're sucker bets. I think this one makes sense where each team is at. It's a kind of throw the points out the window. It's just I don't see Boston like losing at home in this spot. They have too much talent. I think Tatum and Brown are just too good. And then you got the role players. They're Brogdon running the second. Like too many good pieces to where at home in a must-win game. They should have won the last game. I think it's an easy win. And then same thing with the Nuggets. So many things just come together. Like the crowd's going to be into it. You got the altitude factor. The Nuggets are always better at home. I just don't see them dropping it. Jamal Murray, I think he has a big game. Jokic is going to do his thing. I'm parlaying those, and I'm going pretty heavy on that.
All right, I agree with you there. I took Derek White over 12.5 points. Derek White, definitely need him out there against Maxey and Harden for his defense. Derek White's gone over the point prop total of 12.5 in 6 of his last 10 playoff games. And during that 10-game span, White is averaging 14.8 points per game. I like Derek White over 12.5 points. Tyler, anything else from you today before we have AP take us out of here?
Nope, that's pretty much it for me. We'll ride these winners that AP gave us. He's been crushing it all month, and we'll ride our Joey winners because there's a couple MLB players on the sheet too. So just everybody get those winners locked in.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a better time to be gambling sports and, taking advantage of this membership here at runpuresports.com. If you're just playing the plays, it's going to pay for itself just off the bets. So, I hope you guys are taking advantage of that. And if not, work hard, right? If you're younger, right, pick up some extra shifts at work, look for a second job, a side hustle, anything you can to afford that membership and get in on the winners. AP, words of wisdom before you get out of here.
Yeah, if you want to come test us out, use codes SPREAD15, Tyler15 for 15% off. A lot of sports still going on. We got baseball coming up. The baseball show is the free show. It's going to be coming up in just about an hour. After that, we got the Up to Lock show. I got the PGA show tonight. We got the AT&T Byron Nelson coming off a big week. Wyndham Clark, my guy, workbench play of the week. Last week got the win for us, so it was nice to get that 80-1 outright as well. So I had him very high owned in DFS formats, but really nice to get that one. This event this week, it's going to be interesting. We'll talk about it more tonight, but we got one guy up top who is literally better than everyone by a freaking mile, and so it's going to make for a very fun week of golf. But But yeah, come check me out later. If you're not a member, sign up. Spread 15, Tyler 15, 50% off. Let's run beer.